We are going to show how you can quickly create a database um, or any managed service in CodeNow. Why would we create a database here? Well, we are going to we had the first iteration of our app was a single front-end application, and now we are going to move to a free-tier application. Um, which consists of a front-end application, of course, an API, and a database. So let me show you so you understand maybe better. Um, Let me go to the application. Onboarding. I'm going to do this. So it's deployed in two environments. So let me open this one, for example, and this is what we achieved before. Um, yeah, so this is my word game. So right now it's one component, and that means that all um, these words, for example, for what could I have? Rent, for example, it's in the code. It's in the front end code. What I want to do now is to move all the vocabulary, all the dictionary to a remote database, and I will have the front end module query an API module to get the word in the dictionary. Why would I do that? Because that allows me to configure the dictionary without modifying the code, without redeploying the code. And I'm thinking about doing this very simply because in this new iteration, we are thinking of having several languages. It's the same game, but this time not only in English, but maybe in Spanish, in French. So this is why we want a database. Um, how would I do this? How would I do this with CodeNow? I would create a managed service. Um, I will create a Postgre managed service. I would go to Marketplace. I would click Manage Services. I would click Get New Service, and you will see that I have 8 possibilities, 8 type of managed services that CodeNow proposes. And I'm going to create a Postgre database. I could create a MariaDB database. It's another database. I think it's from MySQL. Redis, it's in-memory key value store, is also another type of database. I have 8 different types of managed services. I'm not going into detail. You can go to the documentation if you want to know more. I'm just going to create this Postgre database. I click on Add, and then I can put some configuration parameter. Let's call that wordle_v. And then I would put the cluster where this database will be deployed. So here, default cluster, and cluster, which is the infrastructure resources. And then I would choose the environment where the database is going to be deployed. But I can also specify which environment, which other environment that will be able to access the database, which is a different thing. In the deployment environment of the database, it's always accessible. Whatever runs in this environment will have access to this database, but application running in other environment can also access this database. Then I will configure the core, very important parameters for my database, which is how much space, how much storage space do I need for this database, how much CPU of the cluster resources is it going to consume, how much RAM, and how many replica do I want for this database. So this, and also if I want to have automatic backup done for me. So all of these parameters are directly available in the user interface, and it allows you to very quickly create a database I just need to click confirm here to create a database and get it deployed and running in an environment. I don't have to read a book about how to deploy, install Postgre on a remote cluster. I just go through the user interface. I just say what I want. I want 1 gig, 15% of one CPU virtual, one virtual CPU, and I'm done. My database will be up and running in the cloud. So I'm not going to do it now because I already did it before. This is what we have here. This list is a list of managed services deployed on this account, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you on that database that is already deployed how it would be used. Yeah, so this is deployed in yet another environment, but it's accessible from everywhere, from every environment. First thing that I can do when I create a database, I can go to the admin panel where I have to log in. So the login will be given to me by the username in the UI. I just use this username and I use this password. And there we go. That will connect me to the database. And I have this is PJ admin. It's also an open source software. And I can see here, for example, that I have two tables, languages and words. And for example, if I want to see all rows, yes. So I have maybe 30,000 words in that table. And what you see here is a result of running that query. Select star from public words. So I created a database. I have a automatically configured with individual login and password admin tool where I can perform any kind of maintenance of this database. I may want to do a backup. I may want to migrate some data, create a new table. I can do anything I want through that user interface. And all of this again is created automatically by CodeNow. The last very important thing is a connection string. Let me show it to you. It's a JDBC string. This connection string is going to be used by components. Typically here are API component to access, to connect to the database. So I have this connection string available here, created for me, and I just need to use it in my code. In fact, as we will see later, this connection string typically would go into a deployment configuration as a runtime configuration parameter in a deployment configuration file. So I can change the connection string. I can have a database for a dev environment, and I can have a database for production environment, and that will be two different connection string. And then I would need to use a deployment configuration file to adjust the parameter according to the environment. So if you want more details about that, refer to the section dedicated to deployment configuration. And that's about it. I'm going to create. We have already created a Postgre managed database.